Citators serve two purposes in legal research. First, citators validate primary legal authority as good law. Second, citators are a research tool to identify additional relevant authorities. This video demonstrates how to retrieve a citator report on both Westlaw and Lexis, and how to use a citator report to advance your research. We'll start on Westlaw and retrieve a case by its citation. The citator on Westlaw is called KeyCite. Content tabs across the top of the document, as you see here, court filings, negative treatment, history, citing references, and table of authorities all make up the KeyCite report. We use these tools first to determine whether a case remains valid law, but also as a way to find other related and relevant sources. The Citing References tab is where you may really take advantage of a citator tool to advance your research. The citing references here help you expand that research to other cases, court documents, administrative decisions, and secondary sources that all cite to Tinker v. Des Moines. Navigate these document types in the menu on the left. So for example, if I click through to secondary sources, I see additional options here to filter to ALR annotations, law review articles, and other types of secondary sources. This is an excellent way to go from one good case to finding secondary sources for more background information on the broader topic of free speech and public education in this particular case. When it comes to primary law, there are also very helpful filters available to start with one good case and citing documents in a specific jurisdiction. If I click cases here, I now see filters for jurisdiction, date, and headnote topic. I can filter by jurisdiction to see all the cases in that particular jurisdiction that also cite to Tinker v. Des Moines. The last tab in a KeyCite report is the table of authorities. This tab lists all of the documents cited within the Tinker v. Des Moines opinion. So that's a look at all of the tabs that make up a KeyCite report and how to navigate those to find additional resources on the particular subject of that case. So let's switch to Lexis Plus to see how a Shepard's report can similarly expand your research from one good case. So from the Lexis homepage, again, I'm going to retrieve the opinion from Tinker v. Des Moines by its citation. The citator on Lexis is called Shepard's, and we often hear that used as a verb. To shepardize a source is to retrieve a citator report and validate law as good law. To retrieve the Shepard's report, I'm going to click Shepardize this document on the right side of the page. You see a preview above this link to shepardize the document that gives you a preview of the treatment by subsequent citing decisions. To see the full report, you need to click through to shepardize the document. In the Shepard's report, the Citing Decisions tab shows me all the subsequent opinions that cite to Tinker v. Des Moines. Take note here that the total numbers and the treatments assigned here are different from those we saw in Westlaw. This shows you how different the contents of databases on each platform can be and how the two citator systems can assign different meanings to their indicators. Consider running a citator report on both platforms in your research if both are available to you. The Other Citing Sources tab is where you will find other primary and secondary sources that cite to Tinker v. Des Moines. Here is where you can really expand your research from one good case to find more background information and related statutes administrative materials, or secondary sources. So for example, I can follow these links to filter by law review articles, court documents, treatises, annotations, etc. And again, the last tab, the table of authorities, lists all of the sources cited within the opinion for Tinker v. Des Moines. Use this video as a reference when performing searches on Westlaw Edge or Lexis Plus going forward, and check in with your legal research professor with any questions about researching with citators.